Hey yo, what's happening? What's going on, folks? This is the Boxing Source, and we are here live with the Midweek Report on June 9, 2021. We got a few things that we're going to be talking about here for this particular report, going through a few topics in the sport of boxing and anything else that folks want to talk about within the sport. Few things that we'll be going over. One is the potential card for the June 20 or July 24th event that will be in Las Vegas. As you know, reports have been coming out over the past 24 hours of the fights that will be included in that particular event. And, also, wanted to talk about a potential fight within the welterweight division that could be a fairly big fight. Some people, with the news had been a little bit disappointed of it, but I think it's something that is pretty good at this particular circumstance, given the stakes that would be put in place for that, So there's that. And then also want to go through, a couple of fight cards that are happening within the month of June. So we'll be doing that here in this particular report. But of course, we had what happened on Sunday with the event headlined by Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul over in the Miami. Went through 8 rounds. It was, basically a show, an exhibition. As it was mentioned multiple times over, it was going to be an exhibition. And, with that being said, that it looked like, there were different thoughts about this particular quote unquote fight. There have been early reports saying that the numbers had come out to around 1 million buys for this pay-per-view. So 1 million buys for a pay-per-view event, whether it was, Showtime pay-per-view or through Fan Meal. That was pretty good, given that it was on a Sunday night, and it was, a late Sunday night when the actual fight took place. You had, of course, the other things that went down. You had, Badou Jack in a fight. It was supposed to be against Jean Pascal, but we know about what happened with Jean Pascal. The fight between Jared Hurd and Luis Arias was pretty much the fight of the night. People were surprised about that decision. And I have a couple of thoughts about, that results. And, one of the fighters that is involved or was involved in that particular fight. So that will come a little bit later on this particular channel. Of course, you had Chad Johnson also be involved in that fight card, and he did his thing there. Shout out to Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment joining in the live chat. Salute to you, brother. So just want to get into this thing here. So of course you have July 24th. Is going to be the third fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. Reports had come out that they're going to do a formal announcement of this bout and event on Tuesday in Los Angeles. But through, the likes of Keith Idec and through Mike Coppinger, seems like the fight card for July 24th is starting to shape up. And they're kind of like forming it like how that last event took place February 22nd, 2020. You had Top Rank fight that was featured, a PBC fight that was featured, and a little bit of a mix in between the two. But this time is shaping up to be heavyweights that are going to be featured in this particular card. For the PBC side, looks like you're going to have a rematch of what happened in March, pretty much in March 6th of 2020, you had Adam Kalnacki there, and he was going up against Robert Helenius, and Robert Helenius overwhelmed Adam Kalnacki at the Barclays Center, was able to get a stoppage victory and win a version of a heavyweight title, one of the many WBA titles that are out there. So that rematch, was going to be set up, and now looks like they're placing that rematch to be on July 24th as part of that card, Fury Wilder 3. Okay, so that's on the PBC side. But also reports that come out that Top Rank will feature one of their heavyweight fighters, Jared the Real Big Baby Anderson, and it looks like he's going to open that pay-per-view card on July 24th. There was like an interview with Jared Anderson, I think it was with Sean Zattel, the Fight Hype, that was about a week ago, a couple weeks ago. He kind of like had little hints that there was going to be some big news coming up for him, and Sean Zattel kind of like pushed that in and said, does it mean that he would be part of the Fury Wilder card? And Jared Anderson couldn't really answer that. So, well, now we pretty much have an answer. Jared Anderson is looking like he will be included in that July 24th card, headlined by Fury Wilder 3. And the other fight that is going to be there is cross-promotional. You're going to have Efe Ajagba there against Frank Sanchez Faure, or Frank Sanchez. Now, Efe Ajagba was with PBC at one point, but he is now there with Top Rank, and he's undefeated. Frank Sanchez is there undefeated as well. Both guys, have a little bit of questions as far as like what they would be as a heavyweight contender. But that fight is sure to be something that would be, really good there. And kind of like puts both of those guys in a position to have a lot of eyes towards them in that fight there for July 24th. Maybe, I say that's like a toss-up fight between both of those guys. I've seen a good number of fights from Efe Ajagba, particularly when he was, there on the PBC cards. You have Frank Sanchez, that's part of the Canelo team. With that also has Andy Ruiz Jr., who was just added on. And there are a few things that he's good at, but there are also other things that he needs to work on as well. So for them to go against each other at this particular point of their careers, that's kind of good. It's almost like how you had the thing with kind of like with the Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois, but Joe Joyce had like a whole lot more experience professionally and semi-pro in comparison to Daniel Dubois, right? So here you got two guys that are pretty much even as far as like their experience is concerned in the professional level. So I'm looking forward to that particular bout. I know that there's like one particular fight fan that has been, all over this announcement for the fight card of Fury Wilder 3, since it's going to be all heavyweights. So that's going to be something else to look forward to there for that, for that particular fight card. One other thing is there is reports going out that in the welterweight division, there could be a potential rematch in the welterweight division. And that rematch would involve former champions Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. Now, Thurman and Porter fought in, a great fight years ago a very close fight years ago, where Keith Thurman ended up getting the decision win, and now it's pretty much out there that they may potentially fight each other in a rematch. Now, there's some people that might not like that, at this particular juncture because, you had Keith Thurman that's been inactive since his loss to Manny Pacquiao in 2019. You have Sean Porter on the other side who, did have his fight against Sebastian Formella last year, was involved in a potential matchup with Terrence Crawford, but those talks had kind of like been nixed out, particularly when Sean Porter's father and trainer, Kenny Porter, went over to Top Rank and said, hey, we want to see if we can get this going. We want to see what y'all say, see what type of offer y'all have, and then we'll consider if we're going to have that fight with Terrence Crawford. But there was no offer. There was no offer. And, that was stated by Kenny Porter weeks ago, and it was backed by a representative of Top Rank. So as far as like a potential fight between Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter, that's not going to happen. Now, on the flip side, you got Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was, kind of like said that he could be fighting Yordenis Ugas, particularly if Yordenis Ugas, has the WBA title or the Super Championship. But as in one of my previous videos on this channel, I said that, the WBA president, Gilberto Mendoza, is seriously considering reinstating Manny Pacquiao as the WBA Super Champion, given that he's going to be fighting Errol Spence on August over there in Las Vegas. So, that's going to be probably the biggest event of the summer there, Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. So you want to have like every, boxing organization or sanctioning body involved with that particular event. So, with that being said, that kind of like nixes a potential fight between Keith Thurman and Yordenis Ugas because there won't be, much on the line for it. So as far as like the biggest fight that could be made for those two fighters, it would be a rematch between those two. You don't see them, fighting Terrence Crawford. You don't see either one of them considering a fight with Jerome Businis. And, I don't even see like even either one of them, potentially fighting Mikey Garcia, So as far as like what could happen there in the welterweight division for those two, that's about the best fight that could be made at this particular point, So be on the lookout for that, seeing if that could kind of like shape up to being a featured event here in the future. But if it is, it might not be until after all this, activity in the summer gets completed. You know what I mean? So that's the thing on that. Now, looking ahead to what's going on in the upcoming weeks. I know that we got like a few top rank events that are going down. You have Shakur Stevenson going up against Jeremiah Nakadila with Jose Pedraza against Julian Rodriguez. Part of that particular fight card, and then you also have, of course, now you are in the way against Michael Desmarinas on the 19th, and you have on the 26th, Vasyl Lomachenko against Masayoshi Nakatani. But kind of find it interesting that you're going to have, those fights happening there through Top Rank, while on the 19th and the 26th, you're going to have, Premier Boxing Champions featuring events there, with, on the 19th, Juneteenth, of course, headlined by Jamal Charlo versus Juan Macias Montiel. And you also have, on the 26th, you're going to have Gervonta Tank Davis against Mario Barrios. Now, also on the 19th, don't forget, you got Teofimo Lopez defending the titles against George Kambosos Jr. So June 19th is going to be packed with a whole lot of events there for the sport of boxing. You have, your choice as to, what you would want to watch whether it's the card with Jamal Charlo there, whether it's the card with Teofimo Lopez there, or the card with Naoya Inoue there on the 19th. But you also have, like I said, coming up this weekend, Shakur Stevenson there against Jeremiah Nakathila. And, of course, Stevenson there, the former WBO featherweight champion, moved up to super featherweight, trying to get, himself in position to fight for a world title there in that super featherweight division. But, I mean, he's having fights that, aren't necessarily good as far as like the fans are concerned. But we may revisit that here in a little bit. I want to add somebody on here that might talk about this fight card for July. And he is probably the most excited person for this fight card for Fury Wilder 3. So let's bring him on here from the swamp, representing MBO, Mr. Matthew Brown. Hopefully you have dried yourself off and you're all good and all, calm after receiving these announcements.
You know why I'm here.
I guess he's not calm, and I guess he's not dried himself off.
Big, beefy, man bumping meat. This has been the day I have been waiting for. Finally, all my hopes and dreams come true on one card, one night, July 24th, Las Vegas, Nevada. You got the Bronze Bomber, Mr. Bomb Squad versus the Gypsy Thief, Tyson Fury, for the WBC and lineal heavyweight title. But that is just the main event because we got some big, meaty appetizers. Ooh.
Come on, man, we can.
We got.
Hold on, man.
Jared, Big Baby Anderson, all 260 pounds of beef. All man. Grade A USA beef. He's going to be fighting some big, giant Russian guy that fights out of Jamaica. Oh, that's a bad motherfucker right there. Oh, a Russian in Jamaica? I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did, but that's a bad motherfucker right there.
Hold on,
I'll tell you that right now.
Hey,
I don't know what that man did.
Yo, we got a special guest on here, man. Wait a minute. Hold on. This can't be who I think it is.
Is that the host of Chicken Talk?
It looks like it.
What up, though? I didn't even know. I'm just clicking links. He's leaving links in the chat. I'm clicking links. I end up on the YouTube.
Yo, what's happening, man? What's happening? The host of the Chicken Talk up in the building, man.
Whoop, whoop. Chicken Talk. Whoop, whoop. Chicken Talk.
Oh, man. Yo, yeah, we going over this whole thing with the heavyweight fight card, Fury Wilder 3, featuring heavyweights. Heavyweights here, heavyweights there, heavyweights everywhere. I'm not going to repeat what Matthew Brown said. I'm not going to do it.
Big, beefy, man bumping meat. That's the kind of fight card I like.
I tell Matt all the time, he love petite women, but he don't like petite fighters.
Yeah, he sure don't, because anything below 147 pounds he don't care about. He really does not care about that.
Not give a damn.
He don't. Oh man. So
look, the best thing about that card though is all that money, the betting lines on that. On that
yeah.
Card. You're gonna make some good money on that card if you bet right.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Kalnacki and Hellenius, that's going to be a slobber knocker of a fight. You got Jared Anderson, he's going to be in there. So, that's going to be, definitely a KO
against
waiting
the
to
big
happen.
Russian Jamaican. What is going on here?
A white yardie. It's gonna be a white yardie in there, man. And then you got Effie Jagba against Frank Sanchez.
Now, I do wonder, why did Frank Sanchez get this fight? Because he's been on the zone for his last 2 fights. So why is he getting the PBC slot on the Top Rank versus PBC matchup?
But FA is with Top Rank, so that's like the combined slot, right?
Yeah, FA is with Top Rank, so he's supposed to be going up against a PBC fighter, and PBC put Frank Sanchez in that slot. I wonder if this has anything to do with them trying to woo Canelo.
It could be.
Could be. Wait a minute. Wasn't yeah, but he was on there against Brian Howard not that long ago though.
Because if I was PBC, I would have gave the spot to Charles Martin, or if you wanted to go with someone that doesn't have as much experience, I would have gave it to Michael Coffey.
Yes, that's who I thought. That's who I would have given it to. That's who I would have given it to. But I think they, wanted to.
They trying to woo Canelo, but that fight ain't until July. If Canelo fight Plant next, that'll be made way before then.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think it would be independent of what they're trying to do with Canelo. So
yeah, because Canelo Plant, that's got to be made within the next 2-3 weeks, realistically.
Yeah,
I don't think that fight's gonna be announced anytime soon.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think it's happening.
I don't think the fight is happening.
I don't either. I said it from the get-go. I don't think that fight is happening.
What is supposed to be scheduled for? September 18th?
Yeah, that's Mexican Independence Weekend.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. If that would be something if it doesn't happen though.
I think we're gonna get Canelo versus John Ryder.
Ooh.
No, he has a fight coming up, right?
Ryder doesn't have anything scheduled. He was supposed to fight David Morrell,
but
from the sounds of it, he pulled out of the Morrell fight. So
he pulled out of that. Morrell's fighting somebody else.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's coming back for fight camp in July.
Yeah.
And Eddie would probably try to build him as a Canelo opponent in September.
Yeah.
September in the UK.
Fighting Mario Cazares on June 27th in Minnesota. So yeah, Ryder's not in that one.
You talking about September in the UK, right?
Nah, they're not gonna have Mexican Independence Day in the UK. That's
in
Vegas.
Why not?
Because it's a big weekend in Vegas.
They're not gonna have no Ryder in Vegas. Ryder is even less known than Billy Joe.
Yeah, but Canelo is going to be the draw, and Eddie Hearn is going to do what he do with his third-party ticket sales site that buys out all the tickets for him.
He's not fighting.
You know the vibe.
He's not. He would have did Saunders in Vegas before Ryder. I mean, Ryder is more of a Texas fight than. Excuse me, damn. I'm eating this chicken and I went down the wrong hole. Ryder is more of a Dallas fight than Liam Smith and Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, but they would put it in like a San Antonio led. Like it would make sense if they put like Ryder, against Canelo in San Antonio, but
or New York, somewhere. Canelo right. He ain't.
Yeah, like how they did the thing with
the tall dude when he first went to 168. When he got that first WBA. Excuse me, yeah. And Vegas is for the big fights, man. Like a Plant fight would be in Vegas. Charlo fight would be in Vegas.
Yep.
Well, that Charlo fight not happening because Charlo just want to ride horses with the man.
Yeah.
It's like I'm in Mexico. Charlo was in Mexico. I was riding horses. Come on,
Stop
Ellie.
asking him about
Come on,
Canelo.
Ellie. Don't make an enemy out of me, Ellie. Don't do it.
He's trying to be a friend of me, not an enemy.
Yeah, that was. I didn't know what Ellie was doing in when he was asking those
Ellie
questions.
was trying to put his name in the Canelo sweepstakes. Canelo's like, nah, don't make me an enemy. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I've been told that boy was moving funny for a while. So.
That was mad weird there. That was mad weird. But yeah, you got that whole thing going down. Yeah, that's on the 19th. But back on this thing with the heavyweights, man. Yeah, I thought that Mike Coffey would have been, part of that card as far as going up against Efe Ajagba. But Ajagba versus Sanchez, that's a good one though. That's definitely a good one.
Oh my God, that's a good one.
Who do y'all got?
I'm taking Ajagba.
And it's a coin flip, man. I don't know, man. Is this the same Efe Ajagba that's there with Ken Karoma, man? Because you know how I feel about Ken Karoma.
But Frank Sanchez starts way too slow.
Yeah,
if he starts slow against
slow.
Ajagba, he's gonna get you the hell up out of there.
Yeah, he is a slow dude.
Who was that Ajagba was fighting when he got knocked down twice? Who was his last fight with PBC?
That was Iyagi Kaladze.
Yeah, Yago.
That was one of my favorite fights of the year. Oh my God, that fight was so good.
But when he got caught,
oh yeah,
he was like, "Fuck that!"
Ajagba hit him, and then he stumbled, and then Kaladze stumbled and just waved them on in. I was like, "Oh, these motherfuckers is throwing."
He's like, "Forget all that. I'm out of here." After that fight, he said, "I'm out."
Yeah, he had that one fight against Kajanu that was a giveaway, and then he's like, "Peace out, bro." He was like, "Peace out."
Trying to kill me.
Yeah, man. He was like, "Nah, he ain't having anything with that." But I
hope they on the non-pay-per-view portion, because they're probably gonna put something on Fox or on FS1.
Oh, I already know that fight. I know which fight it's gonna be.
What do you think?
On Fox?
Gary Russell Jr.
No way.
That's gonna be his fight.
No way. They would have put him on the pay-per-view.
No.
They
don't need to. They don't need to.
Yeah, he'd be a main event of the preliminary. You know how Lara was the main event for the Ruiz.
Yeah.
Gary Russell ain't been on nobody undercard.
Because the thing about it is, if you don't put him in Vegas, you can't like wait until what's going to happen over here in the DC area for them to open up MGM National Harbor.
So you think Russell would take the preliminary card?
But it would be it'd be billed as he's the main event of the preliminary.
And he would still get paid. He would still get paid off that. Like, I mean, I know, like Lara probably got paid something good for being the headliner on Fox. So
yes, he did. Yep.
Would this be the Vargas fight? Is that still happening?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's just my guess. That's just my educated guess. Excuse me. A couple things that I've been trying to work out.
If they were to do that, that would probably be the best boxing card in a long time.
I'd say, why not? I mean, but here's the thing: how would they?
You kill two birds with one stone, really?
Wait, is it it's Fox's turn, right? This time around?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they'll go ahead and do that. They'll feature their PBC guys, and then have a preliminary thing going down at around 7:30 Eastern time, and then lead into the pay-per-view, or it'll probably be a little bit earlier than that. It could be.
You know what I was just thinking? What they should do is Top Rank should have their own thing on ESPN, and PBC should have their own thing on Fox, and both of those two separate cards lead into the pay-per-view.
They could do that.
They could do that, or still like have like a joint thing going on.
Top Rank cheap ass ain't trying to do that though.
But I don't think they have like a budget for that. They ain't really gonna go ahead for that, And it's like, what are they gonna do? Like have people like rotate from Fox and ESPN to watch those fights? Nah. Mm-mm.
Hey, but I got to get out of here. I'm gonna throw y'all on my Bluetooth when I'm in the car listening.
All right, no doubt, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yep.
So yeah, that whole thing with because I mean, what do we have like going on? You know, like I said, for next weekend, Juneteenth, you're gonna have Fight Card on ESPN, headlined by the NOA fight, and you're gonna have the Charlo versus Montiel fight going
I
on
don't care
around that
about
same
none of
time.
those. Like honestly, I don't care about any boxing card before July 24th.
He's like, you're like shutting yourself off.
Yeah, I don't
From
care,
now
man.
until July.
I
Wait, so
don't
you're
want.
not
I
even
don't want to
gonna
blow
watch?
my load before July 24th.
Oh God!
I got to get it all pent up, like I'm in training. You know how fighters don't
You've
have
been
sex while
saving
they
yourself.
training.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
You've
gonna
been
be in
saving
training
yourself.
for this card.
So he's not gonna go for that Tank Davis versus Mario Barrios fight
I don't
with.
care about that. Nope.
Yeah, you don't care about Jason Rosario and
Nope.
nope,
Nope. Nope.
nope.
I heard everything I needed to hear. But they at least got to put Michael Coffey on that preliminary show, man.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, they could likely do that. Put in Mike Coffey for that.
I can't remember what they did last time.
What you mean for the February? That February date?
Yeah, I forgot what they did before the card, before the actual pay-per-view card. I don't remember. I don't know why.
I don't think they really did anything. You know, because I don't. Well, hold on. They had. I guess they did something with ESPN. Well, they had to have something because you had Rolly on there on the card. You had Matthias on the card. You had Amir Imam. You had Vito Melnicki. You know, so those fights were on that card. The pay per view had the Fendora, the Charles Martin, the Navarrete, and then the Wilder Fury. So those were the 4 fights that they had on pay per view. So they had a good amount of fights that were before that. So,
man, I can't wait for that. This is gonna be a big event, man. It's gonna be the biggest card of the year.
I mean, well, they're putting their foot in this because if they're gonna do it, for July 24th, then they ain't really gonna have much that they could do for
But
Pacquiao
you know what's funny
Spence.
though? Look how PBC put a main event level fight as part of their slot, because Kornacki versus Helenius was a main event.
Well, yeah.
But Top Rank put in their prospect. Like, Top Rank through and through, fucking cheap.
I mean, but who else do they have there, for heavyweights outside of, maybe Carlos Takam or
remember they signed Caballero.
Tony Yoka, don't they have him?
I believe so. Why not? Why they should have did Anderson.
Yeah, they do have Tony Yoka. Yeah, I was looking on there. They have Tony Yoka on there.
They should have did Anderson versus Big Baby Miller for the Big Baby nickname.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that posted on Twitter.
Yeah, man.
It's like, put WWE style. Loser drops the nickname.
Exactly.
But I don't think Miller is. I'm surprised they didn't have Jared Anderson against Guido Vianello or even Sonny Conto.
That'd have been a good one too.
Yeah, but they're like, nope. So they had, Yoka. They didn't even put Yoka on there. Like, that's wild. But I mean, that's how things are gonna shape up there for that particular card, man. And
what are you hearing about another heavyweight, Dillian White?
Nothing.
Because I've been
the only thing
I've been hearing that he's gonna fight Trevor Bryan in August. Have you heard anything about that?
The only way that I see him fighting Trevor Bryan in August is if he's going to be involved in that fight camp thing again.
Huh? You think Don King will let Trevor Bryan fly out there with his interim belt?
But here's my thing though. Dylan White versus Trevor Bryan in the U.S.
Dead on arrival.
Nah, you're gonna have Don King try to handle that. No. You can't find like any venue that could really host that bout where you're gonna get any type of profit from it. Like UK people ain't gonna travel over here for a Dylan White versus Trevor Bryan fight.
No, they
not gonna
barely
do
even
it.
travel to his fights, his local fights.
Nah, they can't. Yeah, they can't really do that unless if it's over in the UK, man.
Because I'm trying to figure out what's next for Dillian White since he wasn't part of the DAZN deal. So I'm wondering if his next fight is going to be on pay-per-view, but who can they sell him against on pay-per-view in the UK?
He can't do a pay-per-view in the UK unless the fight is at the UK. Otherwise,
What about Joe Joyce?
Who did they say that Joe Joyce would fight?
They say he's going to be fighting Yoka maybe for the European title.
Yoka or.
But I don't believe that's happening. Come on, when Frank Warren starts talking about shit, you just think about the worst Warren fight, and that's who he's going to fight. Like Frank is.
Carlos Takam was the thing. It could have been voluntary against Carlos Takam. So it's either Carlos Takam or Tony Yoka.
But is it Carlos Takam African?
Yes, he is. Cameroon.
So how's he gonna fight
he's based in Vegas.
Title?
I don't know.
Oh
well, where's Tony Yoka from?
France.
Okay, so then that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's. I think that fight's a little bit too expensive for Frank. That MTK money drying up. So, I don't know.
I mean, why not? But here's wait. You know what? I think that could happen. I think you could have something with Bob Arum and Frank Warren working with each other to try to get that fight going.
We'll see. It'll be a good fight. I would like it.
It'll be a good fight, but I think that Joe Joyce would win. He will win.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think Joe Joyce should be a little bit upset with Frank Warren because he get a big win over Dubois and he's done nothing since.
Nothing since.
He should have been back already.
Yeah, he should have been back already. He should have been, in there against, somebody. Actually, nah. The only thing is he's not, if he was with Top Rank, he would be part of this card.
That is true. They should actually put him on the card because if you think about it, if they put him on the card on the preliminary, that's still going to be pay-per-view in the UK. And that's like a good time in the UK for pay-per-view.
Yep, it would be. But I don't think they're going to, go ahead and do that. So, but they might actually stick him on. He might end up fighting on the 24th in some place over in Europe. Before
guy we never heard of, probably.
Yeah.
And
so
that's a damn shame, man. Because he had a lot of momentum after that Dubois fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you're the.
But that's crazy because he gets the win over Daniel Dubois, but Daniel Dubois was able to get a fight in before he does.
Yeah, well, because Joyce wasn't supposed to win. They were hoping he was going to be the guy to boost Dubois to stardom, and it turns out he was better than Dubois. Which anybody who watches boxing knew that Joyce was going to be. Come on, I called it. Oh, like he's gonna beat
He
his
gonna
ass
screw
up.
the guy.
Yeah, man.
Screw the guy. You know, I mean, at first when it was originally scheduled, I thought it was going to be a really good one, but after the delays and everything, and then once they actually had the fight going, I was like, man, Joyce is going to win this.
Yeah, they kept the Raw far away from Joyce for a while, because remember that was supposed to be for the British heavyweight title,
Mm-hmm.
and they kept him away for a while. I'm like, oh, they know something, and I guess Frank thought he was finally ready, but the dude can't even dodge a jab.
He couldn't dodge a jab. He couldn't parry a jab. He couldn't do anything
Nothing.
for a jab. So, I mean, that's the thing with that one. But yeah, maybe there's going to be some good setup for Joe Joyce there. But he could have been part of this, card here for July. But they just couldn't figure out anything for him, man. That sucks. Man, what else is out there, man? Like I said, I mean, that's kind of the thing, man. Everybody's looking at this fight card and seeing that. I did talk about there could be a rematch in the works between Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, and folks are talking about, but see, either one of these guys could have fought Terrence Crawford, but they priced themselves out. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh my God.
Listen.
People gotta pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah. I'm like, look, when Kenny Porter openly tells you that they went to the Top Rank office and they talked with Bob Arum to try to make that fight between Crawford and Porter, and there was no offer given, and that was backed by a Top Rank person.
Honestly,
that should tell you something.
If Thurman versus Porter Part 2 gets made, Crawford should be so pissed off, man. Because who is he gonna fight?
He won't be able to fight anybody, because that's the thing about it. Everything, like the $1 Million Man says, everybody's got a price, and these guys have a price, whether it's like 3 million or whatever.
I feel like every week we're asking the same question: who is Crawford gonna fight? Watch him end up fighting like Castillo Clayton or some shit like that.
Oh God. Or somebody like a Kudratio Abdul-Kakarov or somebody like that. Because
Kudratio's with PBC now.
I know, but I mean, somebody like around that level. You know what I mean? Because if they can't make a fight with, Virgil Ortiz Jr., because that's probably the only fight that's around that level that they could afford, because they can't afford Thurman, they can't afford Porter. They definitely can't afford Mikey Garcia. So
they can afford it. They just don't respect
don't want
the Black
to do
Dollar,
it,
man.
Well, for those two, yeah, they don't. Mm-mm.
Yeah, listen, if you want to know what Top Rank thinks about the Black Dollar, this weekend they have a guy named Shakur fighting that they're now promoting as a Puerto Rican. The nigga name is Shakur, and you promoting this dude as a fucking Puerto Rican. His name is Shakur. It don't get no blacker than that. I'm like, Shakur Rivera. Shakur Rivera, he's half Puerto Rican. Like, come on, man. This is just comical at this point.
No, man, like Shakur Rodriguez, like, what are we doing out here, man? Come on, man. What are we doing? From Newark.
A nigga named Shakur from Newark is being promoted as a Puerto Rican.
Man. This is horrible.
You can't make this shit up. That nigga ain't never make a pernil in his life. Fuck out of here, man. Come on, man.
Oh man, it's horrible, bro. It's horrible. Man,
that's
and
for you.
Man, and you know what? I didn't even see anything as far as like the the thing to like how we go in to ask questions and everything like that. I haven't
Yeah.
seen, they haven't done it because
I
here
don't
we
think
are.
nobody
This is
cares about this
Wednesday.
fight.
Yeah. And they put
Now,
it in that,
are you looking
same
forward
arena.
to the news conference next week with Wilder and Fury?
It's going to be Tuesday, reported to be in Los Angeles. It's going to be pretty much like, the previous two build-ups for the previous two fights. You're going to see, of course, Tyson Fury doing this thing and, bobbing
So
and
do you
weaving every
think they're
time.
both going to be there?
Who knows? Who knows,
Because for
man?
some reason, I have a feeling Wilder's not going to show up.
You think he's going to be in his house or in his facility training?
Yeah. While we
Probably.
sleep, while they sleep, we work.
Well, oh man, but I don't know, man. Does it really need like any type of press conference thing or
Not
whatever
with
it
that
is?
card they announced. Like,
Mm-mm.
I better not see not one boxing fan, not one writer, anybody associated with boxing should not have one negative thing to say about this card, because this card is bang for your buck.
I mean, we're gonna see. It's supposed to be what 70 something 99 for it. So I
Yeah,
don't know, man. I
and
mean,
it's worth every penny. It's
and
worth
and and
every
here's and
penny.
here's the thing too. From a from a promotional standpoint, they really don't have to spend that much, to market the fight anyway.
Yeah,
So they ain't gonna really have that much upfront cost for promotion for this. So that should help them out in the long run. But after Tuesday, I think that's when they're gonna open up the thing for tickets. Most likely, they're gonna be on Access or AXS.com or whatever it is. So people will be able to get on and be able to get a ticket to be at T-Mobile Arena for that thing.
I wonder how much of a site fee they got for this, because they got one. They got a site fee for this one.
T-Mobile is with, I think they're with MGM, so
Yeah,
MGM may have, given them a little bit of a bid for it. We'll probably get, word of what that site fee is, because that site fee is going to control, how much these fighters are going to make. So it's going to be, what I say for their purses, at least 50 million total,
yeah.
at least. So it's gonna, go off of that.
I'm actually surprised that PBC is doing the Konaki Helenius rematch on here, because that can't be an inexpensive fight.
No, it can't. But I don't know if they wanted to wait until, a little bit after to have the rematch in Barclays again.
Yeah.
So they just said, you know what? Let's just make this a heavyweight extravaganza and just throw it in there, because outside of that, what other fight could they have made for PBC style? Because unless if it was like, I don't know, they could. Well, I think it had to be there because that would be like the highest level fight of that magnitude, like that as a co-feature. Like they couldn't like put somebody in there like a Charles Martin. They couldn't, put a Michael Polite Coffee in there. They couldn't really do that. So as far as like a co-feature bout, just put this in here, put it in as a rematch, and just let it go.
Yeah,
So,
this is this is a big opportunity for a lot of these guys to make names for themselves, because it is going to draw a big audience. It's going to draw a big crowd. You're going to draw the eyes of two continents. You could really make a name for yourself. Like, I'm expecting these guys to show out on this card, and I'm not expecting any of these fights to go the distance.
right. Like, yeah, I don't see any of them, Yeah, I don't see any of them going the distance there, man. I don't. Um, like I was trying to see like what other things could be going on that particular day. Because if you're gonna have PBC doing their thing and potentially have that thing there with Vargas and Russell, then we'll see, how they're gonna shape that up because I don't think it's gonna be something with Top Rank and PBC doing something this
Yeah,
time
I
around.
gotta go back and look to see how they handled it.
Yeah, I mean, like if you,
simulcast?
I don't think
I
so.
feel like it
Yeah, I
might have been
have
a
to.
simulcast
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Top
that's how I
Rank
was thinking. It
versus
was a
Ray.
simulcast. I thought it was.
Yeah, I think it
'Cause-
was a simulcast.
because that's a good amount of fights that they had on that particular card itself. So,
Yeah.
because I know for certain that Subio Matias against Petros Ananyan wasn't like that wasn't on like something that ESPN would do unless if it's a joint. So you
Yeah.
had like that on one side, and then Amir Imam against Javier Molina on another side. So that was Top Rank. So it's kind of like how that went.
Well, I
So
can't
maybe
wait.
you'll
What is it
have a
like
setup like that.
6 weeks away? 6 weeks away
Man,
now?
yes, man, it's almost
Man,
yeah.
I can't wait, man. I just wish we could just fast forward through everything.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, and I'm sure you want me to go ahead and put down that money for that subscription.
Oh yeah, man. That OnlyFans gonna be popping.
That would be the most horrible bet to lose of all time. Oh my God. Yo, man, like I said, I'm putting my whole reputation on the line for their fight, yo. Tyson
Man.
Fury could not fail me, man.
So, do you think Konaki could win the rematch against Hellenius?
I don't know. I had to man, I'm gonna have to check what he's been doing because in that fight, it was like he's very active, but the thing about it is, if he takes a shot, that's it. And we
I
know
was
Hellenius can punch.
surprised he couldn't take a shot.
Yeah, but Hellenius is a big dude, though.
Yeah, but he went up against Areola, and Areola's a strong dude.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he put down Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, man. Something wasn't right with Konaki that night, man. I
don't
think
know,
Mark
man.
Freeland spiked his water, man. I'm telling you, man.
Oh man. So maybe something happened with the. We need to check who the referee was in that fight.
Yeah. Honestly, will we be surprised if we later find out that a lot of these fighters at that time had COVID and didn't even know it?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised about that, but the thing with me is like people could test, for how easy it is to test positive for COVID, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked with Jamel Herring, who got tested positive like 6 times last year or something. So,
He probably had it every time too.
Yeah, who knows? But no, I mean, nobody he was saying nobody around him had it. His family didn't have it, so I don't know how that turned out. So
Terrence Crawford probably had that shit. Crawford's a little bit like you, man. He ain't trying to hear nothing about no mask. He don't give a fuck about no Dr. Fauci. Shit. Them motherfuckers could have killed Bo Mac fat ass, and he don't even know it, man.
Oh,
Come
man.
on, man. They could have killed Bo Mac.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Coughing
Bo
on that
Mac, man.
man.
Poor Bo Mac, yo. I mean,
Yeah,
Bo Mac,
man.
he got red, and he saw all them trainers that are out there, man. Uh, it's whatever, man. But yo, that's what I got for this midweek report since but before that was one thing. Lefty dropped on it. He said like Wilder had COVID. I don't know, but they were saying that might have been from last year. That he had COVID.
Yeah, because you remember nobody was really taking it that serious.
Mm-hmm. So there was that. But no, the other thing that I was dropping was some early reports are saying that the thing from Sunday had about 1 million buyers. Those are early reports, 1 million buyers for that event over in Miami. And for a Sunday, that's not that bad.
That's a WrestleMania buy rate.
Yeah, it's pretty much a WrestleMania buy rate. So, I mean, they were able to do good off that.
Over 1 million on a Sunday for an exhibition.
For an exhibition.
Yo, this dude Floyd, man, he could sell anything, man.
Like he's a what do you say? He's a legalized bank robber.
Yeah, yo, he could sell anything. Floyd could sell anything, man.
So listen, Logan Paul. You know what? After seeing this, he's a hell of a fighter. He was in there. He was tough, gritty.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be able to take him out, but he took my shots and he took them well. And you know what? I wish him the best in the future, but I don't know if I'm doing this again.
I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back, man. He's up there. We got the the whole hair thing going and all that, and
maybe they can set up Logan Paul versus Jake Paul for next year.
Well, they're gonna have to set up something because they got Jake there on Showtime, and they're really building that fight that he has coming up with Tyron Woodley. So, and the initial hits for the confrontation for that means that a lot of people are really interested in that particular fight because looks like they feel like Tyron Woodley is not gonna play around with this. So
yeah, he gonna get his ass knocked out though.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. I don't know how that's going to turn out for Woodley at this particular point. You know what I'm saying? But the one that's the midweek report. We'll see what we can do here for Sunday as we're going to get the things on for the Boxing Source Radio show. So
man, don't nobody care about no Shakur Stevenson recap, man.
I ain't gonna.
It's gonna be a slow. It's gonna be, bro.
Hey, that's gonna drag out. Who's so bad like that first fight that they had on Top Rank last year. Pretty much at this time last year. It was a year ago when Top Rank opened at that ballroom in Las Vegas, the MGM Grand Ballroom, and they featured Shakur Stevenson, and that thing took forever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I did a live starting at the first fight at 8:00, and the card didn't end until 11. I was like, what are y'all doing?
That was the longest card ever, bro. I was like, yo.
I was like, what are y'all? I was like, wait a minute. Why are we talking about this stuff? It was bad, man. It was bad.
Pandemic times, man.
Oh man, after you talk about Shakur Stevens.
Exactly.
Oh man, but on that note, folks, I'm out for this particular report, the midweek report. Like I said, Sunday we're gonna have a podcast. We'll see what we'll talk about because we ain't. I don't know about one. All right. So until then, I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.